So, you really think I forgot about you, big dog? No, never. How would I? Just a little bit. What's going on with y'all, big dog? And it is an amazing day for Yu-Gi-Oh! I hope that your day is going phenomenal. And if it isn't, well, don't let what happened at the beginning of your day ruin the rest of your day. Speaking of days, big dog, I was a little bit bummed out when I released a Master Duel Cyber Dragon video and it did not get anywhere near the views I expected. I expected that video to be a banger. I mean, it's Cyber Dragons, right? No. And I'm not gonna lie, that actually got me down in the dumps. I was like, man, maybe I shouldn't even do Master Duel. But just like how you shouldn't let the beginning of your day ruin the rest of your day, I'm not gonna let one little slip up ruin our Master Duel games. So today I got an insane zombie deck. This deck will blow your mind. How could one possibly beat this deck? I'm excited to show you how powerful Skull Servants can be in Master Duel, as well as the deck profile. And of course, if you want to submit your replays, you can always catch me on Twitch Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And I often make community posts or post in my Discord for you to preemptively send replays so I can go over them. They might even hit YouTube. So let's go ahead and jump on into this Master Duel game. I'm extremely excited to show you how Skull Servants work in Master Duel, as this is a Platinum Rank game. This time around, we have White Power. His name is White Power. Against Vampicide. And at any given time, you gotta understand, guys, what is the game plan for what your particular deck does. This is Skull Servant. It wants to be able to summon King of Skull Servants to the side of the field, and its attack is dependent on however many monsters with Skull Servant or King of Skull Servants in the graveyard. This means that this monster's maximum cap is 5,000 attack, because there's only 6 copies or 3 copies of King of Soul Servants and 3 copies of Skull Servant. But fortunately enough, there are actually a lot of monsters in Master Duel that treat themselves as Skull Servant while in the graveyard, so its attack can become much higher. How exactly will we achieve that goal? Well, we need to get as many monsters from our deck to the graveyard as possible. Using cards like Charge or Light Brigade will definitely help. Left Arm Offering will allow us to add important spell cards from our deck to our hand to get more monsters into the graveyard. Wolf the Lightsworn Beast can be special summoned as an extender monster when sent from the deck to the graveyard. Skull Servant is what the deck is based around. And then Mizuki is a card that can special summon monsters like King of Skull Servants from the graveyard to our side of the field for free. He's going to be playing against Vampicide, who gets to go first, activating Terraforming to add a Magical Meltdown. So it's going to be a matchup against Invoked. Magical Meltdown will add an Alistair the Invoker. And allow me to pause this really quick because I've noticed something that I've been seeing with a lot of Master Duel players. Master Duel players tend to have a really bad habit of clicking things just because things flash or it gives you the option. That doesn't always mean it's the best thing. And exactly how would you stop the invoked strategy? Let's say, for example, if we had a monster like Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring inside of our hand, we would not use it on the effect of Magical Meltdown, because what if our opponent had another Alistair the Invoker in his side of his hand? Well, then he'd just normal summon the Alistair and then continue on his play. What we would do is use it on the effect of Alistair the Invoker, because our opponent has already committed their normal summon and they wouldn't be able to normal summon another Alistair. He's then going to go ahead and use the Alistair for a link summon into his Solomon Great Almirage. And then he's going to use Solomon Great Almirage for another link summon into his Link 1 Secure Gardener. This puts 2 monsters in the graveyard that Alistair can banish and allows you to follow with Dogmatic Flames. He'll then invocation both his Alistair and the Secure Gardener into Invoked Mechaba, one of the strongest monsters for the Invoke strategy, allowing you to negate and vanish cards. How many Royal Finish cards does he... Oh no, baby, what are you doing? No! Did he really do that? No! Oh no! So Alistair the Invoker does have 2 effects. It allows you to add an invocation when it's normal summon, and its other effect is to give a fusion monster 1,000 attack and defense for the duration of the turn. This is definitely click buttonitis, as it is a complete waste to activate this card, as it'll just go back down to 2,500 and 2,100 at the end of the turn. We're just going to say that he accidentally clicked it. But regardless, Invocation will add Alistair to his hand and shuffle itself back into the deck. So now he has a way to make this monster 35, 30, 100, and he's going to follow up with Dogmatica Ecclesia. Ecclesia will add a Dogmatica Maximus from his deck to his hand, and he does have the extra deck monster to be able to banish to summon the Dogmatica Maximus, using its effect to force both players to send cards from the extra deck to the graveyard. He's going to send a Titanclad and Omega. This is actually really good. Titanclad could get a monster like Dogmatica Fleur-de-Lis from his deck to his hand, and what Fleur-de-Lis does is that it can summon itself to negate a monster on the field. That's another form of disruption. And Cypherm Lord Omega allows him to shuffle cards, maybe cards he wants back into his deck, but also can shuffle cards in his opponent's graveyard, maybe a King of Skull Servant that you would want to the graveyard or to your side of the field in prevent the monster from being summoned or being used. So really good effects right here. He's going to resolve the effect of Titanclad to summon a Maximus. I don't think that that's correct. You definitely should add a Dogmatica Fleur-de-Lis, and his opponent draws Ash Blossom. Using Charge of Light Brigade, he's going to send the top 3 cards, and his opponent's going to invoke Mechaba, the Charge of Light Brigade. Guys, again, the game plan goes both ways. You have to see what your opponent is playing and decide what is going to be the best point of interaction to stop. Stopping a Charge of Light Brigade, which allows him to add a Raiden from his deck to his hand, is so low impact. At very best, maybe you stop the Raiden that is summoning itself and activating itself to send from the deck to the graveyard. But I don't think any of those cards are cards that you would necessarily want to stop with Invoke Mechaba. You want to stop a power spell card. But let's see how this plays out. White Power does get his Charge of Light Brigade stop. He's going to normal summon Mizuki and then activate the spell card he really wants to use, which is that Grass is Greener. This card is insanely powerful. I mean, this card is banned in the TCG, in the trading card game in North America, for a reason. It allows you to send the top cards from your deck to the graveyard equal to the differential between you or your opponent. He has 50 cards in his deck right now. His opponent has 31. That is going to be a ton of Skull Servant monsters going to the graveyard. He's then going to go ahead and follow with That Grass is Greener, sending 19 cards. And oh man, that is so good. He gets a Fairy Tale Snow. That card is going to be really powerful for him. But let's count how many monsters does he have with Skull Servant in his name. 1, 2, 3, of course, the Skull Servant. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9? I think I count 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right, 9 monsters with Skull Servant in their name for the graveyard. And he's going to be able to get some effects. That's actually a 9,000 attack King of Skull Servants if he summons another one. White Baking allows him to add 2 monsters with different names from his deck to his hand, except for White Baking. Either Skull Servant or list Skull Servant, then discard 1 card. That's going to put him at 10. And then what exactly does White Prince do? What White Prince does is... where are we? If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can send 1 Skull Servant or 1 Lady on the right from your hand or deck to the graveyard. Then you can banish 2 Skull Servants and this card from your graveyard to special 1 King of Skull Servant from your deck. This card name becomes Skull Servant in the graveyard. All right, very awesome effects here. He's going to be able to get some serious advantage. And then he's going to activate White Prince, banishing to summon King of Skull Servants, and that is a 9,000 attack King of Skull Servants. He'll then use White Prince to be able to make it 10,000 attack, and then special summon Lady of the Right to his side of the field. Following up, Fairy Tale Snow will summon itself to the side of the field, and he's going to still have to crack this board. Using both Fairy Tale Snow and the Mizuki for a link summon, he's going to go ahead and summon Artifact Dagda here, and then he's going to activate Mizuki to be able to special summon Unizombie. So what exactly are we thinking here? Right now, we have to be able to crack our opponent's board, which means destroy the monsters on their side of the field, and then proceed to go to game. One card that I definitely think that a lot of players, newer players, are maybe slacking on is Access Code Talker. This card literally wins so many games as it can destroy a ton of monsters on the field and has a highly respectable attack. One thing that you should 100% watch out for is a monster like Nibiru the Primal Being. This card can reset the entire board, so it might be safer just to make an Appaloosa if you do have the extenders to prevent yourself from being hand trapped and then go from there. Unizombie will send a Mizuki from the deck to the graveyard, and then he's going to activate Fairy Tale Snow again. That's going to go ahead and banish 7 more useless cards. He don't need none of them. Summon Snow to his side of the field, and then he's going to link off again. From here, he's going to make a Kristan Hockley Fabric, so he's going to go ahead and choose to keep summoning. Using the effect of Hockley Fabrics, he'll go ahead and special summon another Unizombie, and then use these two monsters for an Exceed summon into Leviair, the Sea Dragon. He's really trying to make this King of Skull Servants as strong as possible, as he's going to summon Mizuki to his side of the field, and then link those monsters off into a Topologic Trisbana here. Okay. He'll then use the Leviair and the Topologic Trisbana for another link summon. And here it goes, guys. Access Code Talker. This card is extremely good. Access Code Talker will target the Trisbana, and oh no! What are you doing, baby? He's gonna use Nibiru, the Primal Being here. I actually do disagree with Nibiru right here, and here's why. If Vampicide actually waits for this Nibiru, Access Code Talker is going to destroy these monsters anyways. Access Code Talker will banish one, it will banish two. It will banish at least 2 link monsters in the graveyard. That's enough, or that's less monsters for him to be able to banish with Fairy Tail Snow. And these monsters were going to go to the graveyard anyways. So I definitely think that you wait with Nibiru here, but he's going to go ahead and preemptively use it, summoning Nibiru to the side of the field and giving his opponent a 10,000 attack token. 9,600 defense. What is going on here? That is ridiculous. But it almost doesn't matter, as he has fallen for the trap. Mizuki is going to banish itself. You shouldn't have put that Nibiru in attack. King of Skull Servants is going to summon himself, and then another one. So I guess it doesn't matter. 2 10,000 attack monsters. This deck cannot be stopped. That is enough for game. Now, this deck is actually incredible, extremely fun to play, but I bet you're wondering what exactly would go about, or what exactly would be used to make a King of Skull Servant deck profile. Well, don't worry, big dog, I got you on a Master Duel deck profile. So this particular build, all of the Skull Servant cards that you want to run are 3 copies of Skull Servant. This is the best one in the entire deck. 300 attack, 200 defense. Your opponent will never see that one coming. King of Skull Servants is the genuine best one, as it is your game ender. If it's destroyed by battle, you can special summon it by banishing a Skull Servant. That should never really happen, because he is going to come out at 10,000 attack. And then, of course, White Mare allows you to target one of your banished Skull Servants and return it to the graveyard, or target one of your banished Lady of the Right or King of Skull Servants and special summon it. White Prince allows you to banish 2 Skull Servants to special summon King of Skull Servant from your deck, and then also allows you to send 1 Skull Servant and 1 Lady in the Right from your hand or deck to the graveyard. White Baking not only allows you to protect a level 3 or lower zombie, cough cough, King of Skull Servant is a level 3 or lower zombie. By discarding this card, it allows you to add 2 monsters with different names that have Skull Servant in their name, and then discard 1. Then you have Lady of the Right, which further protects your Skull Servant monsters, and then makes them unaffected by spell or trap cards. There's also White Princess, which allows you to, if it's normal summon or special summon, send 1 White Prince from your deck to the graveyard, which will, of course, trigger White Prince's effect. This is a really, really good Skull Servant deck, but the other complementing cards will be 3 Maxi, drawing every time your opponent special summons, 3 Unizombie, then 3 copies of Ash Blossom, 3 copies of Mizuki, 3 copies of Wolf, 3 copies of Raiden, 1 Felice, 2 copies of Shiranui Solitaire to be able to special summon Unizombie, 2 copies of Fairy Tail Snow, 1 copy of Artifact Scythe, 1 Foolish Burial, 3 copies of Left Arm Offering, 3 copies of Charge the Light Brigade, 1 1-for-1, 3 copies of That Grass is Greener. This card needs to be banned. 1 copy of Double or Nothing, 2 copies of Call by the Grave. And Crossout Designator is really good, because not only does it stop opposing Call by the Graves, it can also stop your opponent Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. It can stop their Maxi. It can stop so many cards that are really played in Master Duel. For the extra deck, there's 1 Omega, 1 Princess Sprite, 1 Leviair, 1 number 39 Utopia with the Utopia double, 1 Minerva, 1 Tornado Dragon, 1 Relinquished Anima, 1 Kristan Hockley Fabrics, 1 Nightmare Cerberus, 1 Nightmare Phoenix, 1 Artifact Dagda, 1 Curious the Lightsworn, 1 Nightmare Unicorn, and 1 Access Code Talker. And that is all that I have for today. King of Skull Servants, can you beat this deck? I want to know, what do you think about this particular strategy? Also, I want to start a new series. I want to start Master Duel coaching. I want to know, what do you think about that? Until then, you can catch me on Twitch Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for more Master Duel replays. And you can also check out these videos for more Master Duel content, as I'll catch you on the next one.